guys. I don't know who's all awake at 9:56. It's like 4 minutes until the morning wake up. I just thought I'd be early. Sorry, I gotta have my coffee. Oh, there we go. Everyone's up. See, it's a good morning. Look, we have a few people. Oh, now we have 12. Perfect. Good morning, good morning. I'm still waking up too, so don't worry. Oh, perfect. Everyone is signing in. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, look at all these sign-ins. Yes. It's going to be a really fun morning. I have a lot of cool stuff planned for you. We have some announcements. I have some tips for y'all, and it's just going to be a really fun hour. I'm actually really excited to show you, to share some knowledge with y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Yes, make sure you sign in first and last names with the time that you did sign in. So that way we know we can count you for attendance, because sometimes y'all's username does not match y'all's actual names. So make sure you're putting your first and last name that you would for school. It is 9:57, so we'll give everyone about 3 minutes to make sure that, you know, they're signed in and everyone is ready. For this morning, you need a pen and paper. We're just going to take a few little notes just as a prerequisite for Katie and Wendy's lectures today. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. Yeah, make sure you get your cup of coffee. I would love to sit down and drink a cup of coffee with everyone, even if it's virtual. It's gonna be a great time. I have my life begins after coffee mug, because for coffee drinkers, we all know that's true. And for tea people. Oh, no motivation stretches, no. My cats are on my feet and they're sleeping and I don't want to move them. I don't want to be mean to them. They get very grouchy when you wake them up. Good morning, everyone. Just keep signing in, keep commenting, keep on, so that way we can get your attendance ready. Make sure first name, last name, school, whether you're north or south, and time. So perfect. Good morning. Good morning, Daisy. Good morning, Stacy, Sarah. Oh, I see Wendy. Good morning, Wendy. It is 9:59, so we'll just give that last minute for anyone who's still waking up and still logging on. Before we start, I have a fun day planned for all of us, so I'm excited. Perfect. We're getting more and more people. Right now, if you just want to get your cup of coffee brewing and just kind of relax, make sure you have pen and paper. So that way we are all ready. We're just going to take a few short notes, but I am excited. Today's going to be a great day. All right, it is 10 o'clock, so we are ready and we're going to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with some announcements for y'all. Make sure that y'all are keeping a nice and neat notes. That way we can, when we get back, we can see your participation. So make sure your notes keeping is very, very nice, and we'll go over that today. Make sure that you have also received the worksheet for this week, because this week is anatomy, my favorite subject. So make sure y'all have received that. If not, contact Molly or Katie for the worksheet. And also, don't forget, roll call today. First name, last name, school, and time, so that way we can get you in attendance. I want to make sure that we are getting everyone. So perfect. If you haven't received the worksheet, make sure you contact Molly or Katie for that. All right, so to start out with our little fun morning motivation, I have some happy news. I'm tired of negative news. Aren't y'all tired of negative news? Ugh, I'm so done with negative news. So for our first happy news is that pet adoptions and pet fosterings are up a lot. So people are adopting more foster animals at this time, and they are fostering animals. So that way everyone has a new friend or just a temporary new friend for some pettings, you know. That is fun news. I like that. It's been up a lot lately. Ever since everyone's just in their house, some people are just lonely and they just want that little furry friend. So yay, everyone for adopting and fostering. Our next happy news. Air pollution has fallen 50% in the last few months since last year. So Mother Nature must be really, really happy. So we are not using as much emissions. So we're not using our cars as much. So this is a great thing for Mother Nature. Also, our third little happy news is fashion, beauty, and distillery companies are producing masks and hand sanitizers. This is including Dior and Givenchy fashion designers. So they're using their extra clothing, extra cloth, fabrics to make masks and gowns for hospitals. So I think that would be really cool to have Givenchy hospital gown. I don't know about y'all. I think that would be so cool. And distilleries are also making hand sanitizers. So we are great with that. And last and final happy news, which this one is my absolute favorite. That's why I saved it for the last. A couple donated their wedding flowers. They were supposed to have their wedding. And instead of letting all those flowers die, they donated them to an assisted living to cheer everyone up while they were stuck in quarantine. So I thought that was so kind of them. They turned something so dreary into an amazing kind gesture. So make sure that you're remembering, call your relatives, call your friends, just call people so that way they know you're thinking about them, and make sure that you are just doing everything you can. If you want, you can write a letter. Yeah, I know, how adorable. Exactly. They turned something so dreary into something so kind. So make sure that you're calling your relatives. If you can't call, I know some assisted livings aren't doing calls. You can write a letter. You can have your kids make them little cards. So anything that can help, help a neighbor out. So that is my happy news for today. I know, isn't it? It just puts everyone in a good mood. Okay, so now what I'm going to talk to y'all about is studying and note-taking tips. I know a lot of us, especially because this is a new week and we're going over anatomy, that we are going to have to take really, really, really good notes for it. So I'm going to give y'all some tips and studying tips as well on how to take notes. I know some of us aren't the best students, as in with notes and studying, and that's why you got into cosmetology, because it's more hands-on. So I'm going to help you out with that a little bit. I know it's hard. So my first study tip is, you do not have to write this down. It's just to make sure that just make sure you're paying attention. So my first study tip is study when you're sleepy. When you study when you're sleepy, just like whenever you're reading a child a bedtime story, during sleep, your brain strengthens and they strengthen new memories and puts them into long-time storage. So whatever you study has a better chance of going into long-time storage in your brain. So that's my first little tip. I would study at like 7 o'clock, whenever you're starting to get tired, you're winding down. That's when I would study. Number 2 is space out your studying. Don't try to memorize the whole entire book all at one time. You need to take breaks, study every chapter, every half chapter, take a break. And breaks include, you can get on your phone. I would suggest a medial task, something that's super easy that can take your brain and focus off of it. I would suggest painting your nails is a great exercise. Painting your nails, you have to focus to paint them. And then you also have to, make sure you're not painting anywhere around. So it's a quick and easy task to do. So I would suggest painting your nails. Another good thing is drink coffee or tea. Caffeine helps keep the brain alert, and it keeps it alert, and it also helps keep us awake. So make sure that you're drinking your caffeine. I would not suggest after 5 because then you can't go to sleep. And also another study tip is that peppermint and eucalyptus oils help keep the mind focused. So essential oils are a great way to help you focus. I remember whenever I was studying for finals for college, I would always use eucalyptus oil. So that was one huge way. It helped me stay focused. I always put it right next to me. You can burn a candle, any type of candle that helps you relax. Right now, I have a little rose water and ivy candle to help me kind of relax. Yes, Monica, she loves doing yoga in breaks. That is perfect. Some meditation, yoga, deep breaths. Perfect. Let's see what else. At Texas State, I always study till I fall asleep. Yes, Destiny, I know that feeling. So just make sure that you are taking breaks, using everything you can to focus. Make sure whenever you get in that sweet spot of studying, you don't break that sweet spot. I know whenever I am in my sweet spot, I can write a paper, a long 10-page paper, and it feels like I haven't even written it for an hour. So make sure you kind of try to get in that sweet spot of studying. I know it's hard. Deep breaths also help. Deep breaths also, whenever you just take nice, calming, deep breaths in between everything, it helps bring oxygen back to the brain, which helps you focus more. So that's my little studying tips. Some note-taking tips, because guys, we're about to take some notes to help as a prerequisite into anatomy with me. So some note-taking skills. I know some of you have been very, like it's very hard for y'all to take notes. So make sure you're dating your notes. Make sure that you are, dating them, titling them, make them as neat as possible, because whenever you go back to read it, if you can't read it and you don't know what date it is, like let's say I took notes last Tuesday. If I didn't date my notes, I really don't know what we did last Tuesday. So make sure that you are dating everything. My next tip for note taking is start every new chapter with a new page. Make sure that you, like I said, keep all your notes neat. That's the only way that you're going to actually be able to memorize your notes. Another tip is only write on one side of the page. So don't write on 2 sides of the pages. It jumbles up everything, especially if you're using a pen, because the bleed back onto the other page, it keeps you unfocused. My next tip is to leave blank spaces. I love whenever we're kind of done with a thought to leave at least one blank space. So that way I know that thought is completely finished, just to keep my brain intact. My other tip is to make sure your notes are brief. Don't write a whole huge paragraph about everything. Make sure that you are just using abbreviations, write down the little and symbol, develop a system of abbreviations and symbols. If you're writing about the heart, you can draw a little heart instead of writing heart. It's a lot easier and it's a lot faster. You can use the and symbol, you can use the number symbol. So that way it goes by faster and you can write more, or you can type more. So my next tip, I know I'm guilty of it. I know everyone else is guilty of it. Please do not write word for word. You only need to write important thoughts, okay? Please do not write word for word. I'm asking y'all. Just because it's very, very hard, especially what you need to do is write important thoughts down. So in this little tip, instead of writing word for word, just put no word for word, comma, important thoughts. See how that was so much easier? Laureen says, I always try to write word for word. Everyone does, and it's very hard, especially if someone has a slideshow in front of you. My OCD gets the best of me too. I think, oh my gosh, that's going to be on a test. I know it. I have to write it word for word. So just make sure, and especially in lectures, I know if the professor, teacher, instructor repeats it, it's pretty important. That's also a thing I've learned. And number one rule of note-taking is be prepared. Pens, pencils, laptops, anything you need, water, so that way you don't have to get up and go get water during, while you're note-taking. Make sure you are doing all of that. Just be prepared for everything. All right, so those are some of my little note-taking tips. If you liked them, please like my page. I know that note-taking is very, very hard, and it's almost like an art. It's a beautiful, beautiful art. It took me years to learn how to actually properly note-take. I was the person that would write in cursive every single word, and then I could not read it back to you. So make sure that you're writing neatly, organized thoughts, and only important ideas. So now, since we are learning about anatomy, I got some anatomy jokes for y'all. I love anatomy jokes. So, okay, are y'all ready? Okay, I'm so excited. What is a kidney's favorite instrument? I'm gonna wait for y'all to comment. I'm so excited. I have a lot of little jokes for you. Okay. Oh, no one knows what a kidney's favorite instrument is? Oh, come on, it's easy. Oh, we're getting some answers, no idea. Oh, I know. It's an organ. A kidney's favorite instrument is an organ. That's a good patella slapper. A kidney's favorite instrument is an organ. Oh, we got piano. That was close. I love y'all's laughing emojis. Okay. Why was the skeleton so lonely? I'll give y'all a few seconds. Someone put, oh no. Yeah, I love anatomy jokes. Oh, McD got it right. It was the organ, yes. Why was the skeleton so lonely? Olivia, I'm dead too. It was a patella slapper. The reason why the skeleton was so lonely, yes, someone got it, Emily. He had no body. He had no body because he's a skeleton. He didn't have his integumentary system. I'm sorry, these are so funny to me. Okay, time for the next one. Why are bones so calm? Okay, I'll repeat it. Why are bones so calm? Oh, nobody knows why bones are so calm. Oh, they have structure because he's very strong. Oh. No idea, just guessing. Hey, guessing's good. The reason why bones are so calm is because nothing gets under their skin because they don't have any. I wish y'all could see my knees. I'm slapping it. Because your kneecap is known as your patella. So whenever I say that's a good patella slapper, get it, knee slapper. I'm sorry, I'm a nerd. I'm such a nerd, I'm sorry. Okay, I have 2 more fun jokes for y'all. I know. I love anatomy if you can't tell. Okay, so why did the skeleton start a fight? I love this one. I'll repeat it. Why did the skeleton start a fight? Oh my gosh, Faith got it. Yes, he had a bone to pick. Get it? Because he's a skeleton and skeletons have bones. I entertain myself sometimes. Oh, y'all are getting it. He had a bone to pick. Yes, that's why the skeleton started a fight. Okay, last joke of the day. What did the biologist see at the beach? I'll repeat it. What did the biologist see at the beach? I know this one's hard. That's why I saved it to the last one. It's pretty hard. Nobody knows why what did the biologist see at the beach? Nobody knows. Oh, sea life forms? There we go. Kimmy, this is pretty tricky. They're good brain teasers to start us off this morning, and they're funny. So the biologist saw at this, what did the biologist see at the beach? He saw nucleotides. I'm sorry. He saw nucleotides. Oh, that was a good one. Well, that, sorry, I thought it was so funny. That includes our jokes for today to get you a little bit introduced to anatomy, to get these brain juices flowing, you know, to get some laughs at us. So I hope y'all enjoyed my jokes. I know they're very corny and they're good patella slappers. They're really good patella slappers. Oh my gosh, thank you, Emily. Okay, so let's get into our real lesson. Why is anatomy so important to learn? Does anyone know? Oh, thank you, Brenna. I thought they were great too. Does anyone know why anatomy is so important to learn? It's one of my favorite subjects. It is near and dear to my heart. while y'all are commenting. Why is anatomy so important to learn? Serena said we're dealing with the human body every day. Yes, we are. Brenna said our body is important to know about. Kimmy said we have to learn the study of the skin. Lauren said we are making changes to the body and skin. Those are all amazing answers. Yes, we work with it. It's kind of our job to know anatomy. And not only, we don't just need to know, for estheticians, they don't just need to know the skin anatomy. And for hairstylists, the cosmetologist, we don't just need to know hair, skin, and nails. For nail techs, they don't just need to know the nails anatomy. Rosie, welcome. I know you're new here, so I'm Alana, welcome. She said understanding the structure of the body, which is perfect. So the reason why anatomy is so important to learn is studying anatomy helps the individual understand the structure and relationship between body parts. So it basically helps one become more in tune with your own body. So, for example, if you know all the parts of a car and what your car does, then whenever something's wrong with the car, you know exactly how to fix it, don't you? Yes. If, let's say, my car's out of gas, I know exactly where to put the gas. I know exactly what is wrong with my car. It'll have the little gas light warning. So I know to put more gas in my car. And I know gas fuels the car and we need gas to go. But it's just like the body. When your stomach's rumbling, it says you're hungry. When you're hungry, it means you need more nutrients for energy. I know, mind blown. Easy. That's why anatomy is so important. It helps you keep in tune with your own body. Also, it helps medical professionals know exactly what's wrong with you. If you say, I broke my upper leg, they know to know the upper leg's muscles and bones. So these are great answers. I love them. I know, Destiny, mind blown. So, knowing anatomy is important for when we age as well. Fun fact, when you get older, the cartilage that are in between your vertebrae of your spine start to dissolve away when you the older you get, making you shorter. So knowing anatomy helps us know why we get shorter when we age. My grandfather was 6'7" and now he's like 6'5". He was 6'7" whenever I was like 4, and now he's 6'5". So, as we age, the cartilage was dissolving and he got shorter and shorter and shorter. And knowing anatomy helps us understand that about our bodies. So we have that to look forward to. Oh. And also, without anatomy, we wouldn't also know the aging process of the skin. So we know whenever we get older, our skin loses collagen, so it loses its bounciness. Do you see how my skin can bounce? So it loses its bounciness and plumpness without that collagen. So as we get older, we know we should use products that have collagen in them to replace the collagen in our skin. Do you see how just knowing that little bit of anatomy helps us be more in tune with our body? Yes, Monica, collagen does decrease. So do you see how knowing anatomy, just knowing these small things helps with aging? It helps us be more in tune with our bodies. It helps us know when my stomach grumbles, that means my body is low on fuel and I need to fuel it. So it helps us be more in tune with everything. It also helps medical personnel, and it also helps us as hairstylists know. Kaylin just said, got some collagen vitamins so I don't ever get wrinkles. Perfect. Okay, so grab your notes, grab your pens, and let's get started with some anatomy. I love your answer, Kaylin. So, can y'all name one of the 11 body systems that make up our whole entire body? Can y'all name just one? Make sure y'all are grabbing those pens and papers too. We're gonna use some of those note-taking skills that we just learned today. Marabella said muscular, perfect. Yes, that's one of them. Kaylin said nervous. Endocrine, yes. Skeletal, nervous. Urinary, yes, yes. Respiratory, endocrine, skeletal. Beautiful. These are great answers. Y'all know anatomy really, really well. Lymphatic, oh, yes. This is awesome. Okay, so grab your pen and paper and let's get started with the notes. What are the 11 body systems? Number 1, write down circulatory. And we'll go into the definitions more once we get the 11 down. So number 1 is circulatory. Number 2 is digestive. It deals with the stomach. Number 3 is endocrine. Number 4 is excitatory. Number 5 is integumentary. I know a lot of us are aware of that one. Number 6 is immune. Am I going too fast? Number 7, 7 is muscular. Number 8, I'll repeat all of them, don't worry. Don't worry, Jennifer, I'll repeat all of them. Number 8 is nervous. Amber, I'll repeat all of them, no worries. Number 9 is reproductive. Number 10 is respiratory. And number 11 is skeletal. So let me go back over them for those of you who missed them. Number 1 is circulatory. Number 2 is digestive. Number 3 is endocrine. Number 4 is excitatory. Number 5 is integumentary. Number 6 is immune. Number 7 is muscular. Number 8 is nervous. Number 9 is reproductive. Number 10 is respiratory. And number 11 is skeletal. Does everyone have them? Everyone got them? Perfect. All right. So let's go into the more definitions of them. All of these systems make the person you are. So let's go a little bit more in depth with them. We're not going too in depth, so don't worry. Destiny, my spelling is the absolute worst. So don't worry about it. And I'll help you spell them out. Yes, I'll help y'all spell them. So number 1 is circulatory. So circulatory is spelled C-I-R-C-U-L-A-T-O-R-Y. And y'all can Google the spelling too. Remember, for my note-taking skills, take notes that are organized and put main thoughts into them. As long as you can read them and you know what the meaning is, it doesn't have to be spelled perfectly. So the circulatory system controls movement of blood through the body. And I see that Baldwin Beauty Schools just commented how to spell it. The circulatory system controls movement of blood through the body. So the circulatory system is like the highway for all the cars. It controls, it has veins, blood vessels. So it just controls all of that. Make sure your blood goes to where it needs to be because your whole body needs blood to live. And blood helps. Blood actually carries oxygen to everything. Oxygen's transparent. But all you need to know right now is that it controls the movement of blood through the body. That's what the circulatory system does. Okay. The digestive system. Number 2 is the digestive system. All right. Yes, Monica, supplies nutrients and carries oxygen. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. So the digestive system in Baldwin Beauty School has kindly supplied us with the spelling. So the digestive system breaks down food into nutrients or waste for nutrition and excretion. The digestive system breaks down food into nutrients or waste for nutrition and excretion. I'm going to say it one more time. The digestive system breaks down food into nutrients or waste for nutrition or excretion. I'm going to give you all a few seconds to write that. Okay, so the endocrine system. The endocrine system controls the hormone levels in the body. The endocrine system controls the hormone levels in the body. That's exactly what the endocrine system does. Don't worry, they will go more in depth into what the endocrine system actually does. The excretory system. What the excretory system does is it eliminates waste from the body. The excretory system eliminates waste from the body. So I think all of you know what your excretory system is. The integumentary system. A lot of us should know about that because it deals with the skin. So the integumentary system provides protective covering and regulates body temperature. The integumentary system provides protective covering and regulates body temperature. You'll go more in depth with the layers. This is just kind of like a little overview of what you're going to be learning. The layers of the skin and what is actually in our skin. So right now, all you need to know is the integumentary system provides protective coverings and regulates the body temperature. Yes, Laura, the integumentary system is the skin. The immune system, that is our next body system. It protects the body from diseases. The immune system protects the body from diseases. So you can drink some Emergen-C, some vitamin C to boost your immune system. That's what a lot of people say. You can take vitamins, you can do Emergen-C. I think Airborne is like another version of Emergen-C. My favorite flavor is the raspberry Emergen-C. That's the best one. Right now, they say with the virus going on that you should be taking your vitamins, making sure that you take your vitamins, and making sure that you're at least having some extra vitamin C or D, so a little sunlight. That's always good to help your immune system, or some Emergen-C or anything like that, a vitamin C supplement. So they say it just helps build your immune system. All right. Yes, Brenna said, I love Emergen-Cs. So the next system we're going to learn about is the muscular system. The muscular system holds the skeleton in place, and it contracts body movements. The muscular system holds the skeleton in place and contracts body movements. Joelle says she's speaking an emergency. She's drinking an Emergen-C as we speak. I love it. The muscular system holds the skeleton in place and contracts body movements. Make sure you're writing these notes. I know they're just very, very basic, and we're going to go more in depth with them with Katie and Wendy. But just for right now, so that way we have a little background knowledge before we go into all of the details. It contracts body movements and holds the skeleton in place. All right, the next system we're going to learn about is the nervous system. The nervous system coordinates all other body systems. The nervous system coordinates all other body systems. So it just brings all of them together, and the nervous system is just kind of the central, it's called the central nervous system for a reason. It's what makes everything flow so nicely together. The nervous system coordinates all other body systems. Make sure you're taking these notes. All right, I'm going to repeat it one last time. The nervous system coordinates all other body systems. All right, the next body systems we're going to go over is the reproductive system. The reproductive system produces offspring and allows for transfer of genetic materials. The reproductive system produces offspring and allows for transfer of genetic material. The reproductive system produces offspring and allows for transfer of genetic material. All right, the respiratory system. The respiratory system deals with the lungs. The respiratory system, it puts oxygen in the blood, so it makes blood and oxygen available to the body. The respiratory system makes blood and oxygen available to the body. It also eliminates carbon dioxide, or CO2. The respiratory system makes blood and oxygen available to the body and eliminates carbon dioxide. All right, our last system is the skeletal system. The skeletal system is 206 bones. The skeletal system is 206 bones connected by movable and immovable joints. The skeletal system is 206 bones connected by movable and immovable joints. Fun fact, we're actually born with over 300 bones whenever we're babies, but they all fuse together to make 206 by the time you're an adult. Your skull is actually a ton of different bones, and they fuse together. Yeah, it's a fun fact. All right. So are there any questions about anything? Do I need to re-go over anything? Did we miss anything? Yes, Taylor, it is crazy. I know. Yeah, we are born with over 300 bones whenever you are actually born, and from whenever you're a kid to adult age, your bones are fusing. So, all right, are there any questions about anything? I know we just went a little bit in depth with them, not that much, but we are just making sure that y'all have a little background knowledge so that way you aren't completely lost whenever we start going in depth with everything. Right now, I would just make sure that you are doing roll call. You are making sure you're clocking in with your first name, your last name, and the school you attend. Make sure you're doing that throughout. Your comments are helping your attendance. Don't forget about that. So every single time I ask a question, make sure that you are answering, commenting, because that tells us you are here. And also at the beginning of the lesson, or whenever you do finally show up, that you are clocking in with your first name, last name, and the time you clocked in, and the school. Jeremy is calling for a final roll call right now. And yes, Kimmy, I can repeat the immune system. So Kimmy, the immune system protects the body from diseases. Make sure y'all are all clocking in. Make sure, yes, perfect. They're doing final roll call right now to make sure that you were here from the beginning to the end. So that way y'all can get the full hour. Perfect. Yes. All right, are there any questions about the 11 body systems? that y'all have so far? Perfect. Keep clocking in, keep commenting. I know for some of you it's hard because you're all on your cell phone, so it's hard to not only write notes, but it's hard to comment every single time and watch the video. And we understand, just try to comment as much as you can. It'll help. Perfect. I see everyone is clocking in. Perfect. Yes. All right. Well, that is all I have for y'all today. I can tell more skeleton jokes if you'd like to get you more ready for anatomy. Yes, Vicki, it is very hard. I know it's hard to comment and do all of that. I know how hard it is, and I know anatomy is hard. So make sure that y'all have a nice calm space whenever you're studying. You want to make sure, or you're taking notes, you want to make sure you're kind of in a room by yourself. You know, I know it's hard with kids, so make sure that you're doing that. Make sure you have a clean workstation. That's not super, super cluttered. Make sure you have all your materials. Make sure you have your thinking cap on. So make sure we are doing that. Y'all are welcome. I hope I was very cheery for you this morning. It takes me a little bit to wake up. Britta, I understand completely that you don't have alone time right now. And especially with kids, it's very hard to have them, to have alone time, to be able to study and to be able to do that. But no worries. Just try your best to kind of go in a little corner and tell them that, you know, play with your Legos or play with something. You're welcome, Rona. I love my bone jokes. So. Yes. And also one thing I noticed is whenever I was in a dorm room and there were a lot of noises, I actually used a calming sound machine. Like I would just put on waves. So that way all I would do is focus on the waves or just focus on whatever sound that's drowning out everything. Some people do like to study with music and that is completely fine. Some people like to put in their headphones. Sometimes I would just even put in earplugs to help me study. So whatever works for you, you just have to learn what does work for you. Even though I hate whenever I study because I have to study alone in an extremely quiet place. Almost a library isn't quiet enough for me sometimes. So it has to be so quiet. I cannot be around anything that'll distract me. So I can't have my phone anywhere near me. I can't even have a candle near me. So just make sure, yes, Joanna said nature music is awesome. So yes, use anything that you can to help you study. We're so glad to have you here, Rosie. Glad that you could join in today. Yes, take these study tips. And if you want, you can Google more study tips to help you out. I know some of us just don't understand. Some of us just don't know what kind of studier we are. I cannot multitask. I have to just sit there and read it. Some people like to write. Whenever they memorize, they write everything. If they write it a trillion times, they will memorize it. So if that's the type of learner you are, that's the type of learner you are. I had to bite the bullet and just say, I can't listen to music. I have to be in a quiet room. I can't study with other people around me because then I get distracted. So just learn what type of learner you are. And anatomy is a very in-depth subject and it's challenging to learn. So make sure that you're taking extra good notes. Make sure that if you think something's spelled wrong, just spell it the best you can. Make sure you know what the word is and then go back once you're done with the lecture. Go back and Google how it's actually spelled if that helps you more. I had to do that in a lot of my classes and I had to rewrite a lot of my notes. So that helps a lot. Make sure everyone clocked in. I want to make sure everyone has clocked in. And go out today and do something kind for another person, whether it's, a fun activity with your kids, or maybe write a letter to a person in a nursing home. I know our Happy News, I love Happy News. I love seeing happy people and reading about happy news. And right now, we need some happiness. All right, everyone. Well, if there aren't, yes, music distracts me when I'm dancing or I go to sleep. Yes, Zuli. All right. Have a great afternoon. I know anatomy is hard, but just take good notes, use your study skills, and use your note-taking skills that we just learned, okay? Have some eucalyptus, light a candle, do whatever you need to do, okay? And I will see y'all later. Bye, guys. Hope y'all have a great rest of your afternoon.